bit more of a serious note, I guess. Family. Outside of all the fun shit that we're talking about and all the work shit, at the end of the day, you're like a full dad. Like you're like a whole father. Yep. And you have a whole fiance and you have a whole family. You're really out here, Adam 22 and all that fly shit, but you're really out here on some family vacation shit, doing sightseeing and touring, like, and there's gonna be PTA meetings coming and you know, college admission boards and maybe even, you know, housing authority shit. Like there's things you're gonna, you know, HOAs and shit. Like there's all this regular dad shit that you have to be involved in that you don't get to necessarily leave Adam 22 out of. Right. I know a lot of boyfriends and a lot of husbands who left the business because when real life started showing up outside of work, that's where the ridicule was coming from. And it was hard on the kids. Right. Like have you prepared for those moments? Have you thought about like what that looks like 5 years from now, 10 years from now?
I mean, I don't feel like anybody could ridicule me because I don't give a fuck and my kid's just gonna have to be on the same page as me, you know? Like, I don't know. Like you watch that show Succession?
I'm familiar with it.
There was a part in that show that I love where like there was a journalist and she's just threatened, she's talking about all this embarrassing shit that she was gonna release about one of the characters, and she just says, "We don't get embarrassed." And I really resonated with that because I'm like, that's how I felt my whole life. Like you could throw anything at me, like I'm cool. Like I'm not gonna let that perspective of me matter or whatever. But yeah, for me as like a dad, that shit is super important to me because I feel like, I don't know, like pretty soon after I had the kid, I just realized like, oh, I need to like really take time off to just witness this and observe this. And if I just keep grinding every day, all day, which is just what I've been used to like my whole life, then I'm just not gonna really get a perspective on my kids' upbringing. So that shit is super important to me at this point, and I got no problem like taking time off, going on family vacations. My girl's got me going on all kinds of crazy trips she booked this summer just because I told her I wanted to take more time off to be able to focus on just really spending quality time with the kid and everything. So I'm excited about all that shit you said, like, you know, in terms, like I am just trying to stay low. I don't want to be like a public fucking dad. Like I seen a dude tweeting about his school board, like talking about something that they were teaching in the school he didn't like the other day, and I was like, I'm never gonna involve my public platform with what the fuck is going on with my kids' school. Like
you say that now.
Even just putting her on, you're right. Maybe I'll get mad about something. I want to put her on my Twitter, but like I don't know. Like I just even putting my kid on my story and like letting the world share the joy that I'm having right now. Sometimes I just like to think about it like, you know, maybe I'm just not gonna post her for the next year. Maybe I'm just not. Maybe I'll never post her again. Maybe I'll just let her and my thing with my kid just be our thing and just not ever have to hear about it again besides what the fuck happened to your kid, you know? Like, I'm definitely glad that financially I don't have to be like a fucking family vlogger. Like, I know people who, they can barely spend time with their kids because everything's a photo shoot and a video shoot and trying to make content out of it. I'm so glad that I don't have to mix and mingle those streams together.
Is it okay to know how old the kid is?
1.5.
Okay,
1.5.
You got it.
We got it.
Yeah, there was a story recently of this chick that was on OnlyFans. Her son was in high school, and the students found out his mother had an OnlyFans, and I guess it caused turmoil between him and his mom because they were teasing him about it,
like
to the point where he attempted suicide.
Like cyberbullying. Like dudes were like, yo, if I got a credit card account, I can send your mom an extra $50. She'll bust it open in front of the 7-Eleven. And you know how the OnlyFans, and the kid, he's not a punk. He tough, but every class, first, second, third period, 40 kids are like, look at your mom, look at your mom, look at your mom.
Right.
Knowing that, does that make, what's the process you're gonna deal with your kids or your daughter? Like, are you
how do you protect them from that?
I mean, my whole thing is that my kid is gonna be exposed to this shit to, you know, slowly, but like, you know, I bring her to parties at porn star friends of ours' houses, you know, they got the fucking nicest houses I ever seen and shit, and, you know, they're having kids, and like, my kid is just gonna think that shit is so normal. And I don't know. I mean, yeah, there's definitely a chance of like bullying happening at a certain point, but I mean, at the end of the day, like I don't think there's anything wrong with what I'm doing. I think I could easily like raise my kid to understand that mommy and daddy do grown up shit. And then there's also the weird fact of like, bro, I'm 38. Like, what are the odds that I'm doing this still 10 years from now? You know, like I already like very clearly don't have to do this. I'm just kind of, you know, it's fun for me and my girl, and like, you know, it is like, it's a bigger deal to her. Like it's a bigger percentage of her income than it is for me. But also it's like, I don't know, I kind of feel like by the time my kid knows what the fuck is going on, that it might be like a memory, which.
The internet is forever though.
Yeah, for sure. But I mean, you know, you want to be my kid in general. Take the porn out the equation. You want to be my kid with all the bullshit that I'm getting into public. I'm beefing with the Island Boys and shit. Like, it ain't gonna be easy on my kid either way. Like, they're just like, you know. But all right, for every kid like that, I mean, look at like Kim Kardashian's kids. Like, I'm sure that they've been
homeschooled.
They've been confronted by it. That's a good point. Homeschooled.
Because you know,
And they got security.
But and here's the other thing too is, if my kid is in fucking 5th grade, you know what percentage of the other kids in there's mom's gonna have had an OnlyFans? Like porn is just not like it used to be back in the day where it was this tiny pocket of girls doing it. Like the number of
it's a
kids
lot of girls
whose moms are naked on the internet is like ridiculously high.
Most?
And my kid gets to say, yeah, well, my parents are stupid rich off of this shit, and I don't have to worry about nothing. So, I mean, you know, hey, we all played the games. Some people did a little better at it than others, you know?
Right.
That's fair.
Wow.
Here's hoping.
Well, I wish you the best.
Yeah.
I'll say I'm not worried about it, or I've never really worried about it, you know? But, I mean, that's the kind of thing that you can't control. Like,
Have you considered it though?
Yeah.
I mean, it's like crossed my mind because everybody thinks that that's the most genius comment to leave is like, your kid is gonna get bullied when he's older. Like everybody says that, like thinking it's funny, you know?
No, but
it's
being
actually
like actual
sad
real
and fucked
situation,
up. Like,
yeah, it is.
The fact that people like default to laughing at that, like those are the people I block the fastest because I'm just like, bro, you got a fucked up mentality, man.
Because I'm sitting here with two fathers. You know what I mean? And I hear the way they talk about their kids.
Yeah.
No matter, like his daughter.
Yeah, if she wants to piss me off, she shakes her butt, and then I chase her.
How old?
She's 7.
Oh, Jesus.
She's like, Daddy,
man, like that's.
and then, because she knows that, yo, stop doing that. Don't do that. Like, I'm real protective of her. But
And Bigga will stop the clock for his kids. You know what I mean? Like, be out by the car chopping it up. Yo, listen to this thing my son did. Yo, check this thing that, yo, listen to this, blah, blah, blah. And me and him, you know what I mean? Like, he's got my number. That's how he first got my number was, hey, my kid is doing this, and I would like for you to, yo, no problem, absolutely,
right.
That's 100%. But I hear how they talk about their kids and how they try to protect their children from protect and prepare. So my question is, how do you protect and prepare
like, I'll tell you a story.
your child for
We got a while to figure it out. I was gonna say that.
Yeah, you got a lot of time.
I got a nice little runway to figure out how to ease her into it, you know?
For me, I remember my son was in 1st grade. You know, I was very involved, going to the school, talking to teachers and all that stuff, you know. Yeah. Like, you know, they go, oh, Mr. Edwards is very cool, very cool, very cool. But my son knew about the shit that happened on Smack.
Yeah.
He knew how to find it on YouTube. So one day I was late to pick him up, and they had him in the office, and as soon as I walked in the office, he was hitting play on that shit.
Why was he timing it to play?
No, he was already
just
in the
coincidence.
office. And he played it, and I heard it. Yo, son, get out of my face, son. Oh! And I just saw the teachers' faces come up and look at me, and I was like, ah, shit. This ain't a good look. And from that day on, some of them was cool, but some of them was like, you know, he thuggish, ruggish. I don't know, you know, what he was doing before. So I felt the difference in people knowing, oh, he's into this, he's into that. So you got a lot of time to figure that out, definitely. Homeschool might be an option. Homeschool might be an option.
I'll say this is that I know my kids are gonna be going to the best fucking private schools in the country, so
Right.
I'm not super worried about it. I'm sure they have good anti-bullying protocols to get her through that part. Because I feel like by the time you're really an adult, it's like, you know, I mean, you have to like infect your kid with your attitude. And if my attitude is so much that I don't give a fuck what anybody says about me, and I openly invite the criticism and I go out of my way to stir shit up because I want the smoke. It's like at a certain point, my kid, it's hard for me to imagine her not kind of getting that from me at a certain point.
It's Hoffa. Trapper turn smack rapper. Only smack rapper that you know is smack rappers. Got bars I can hang with the backpackers. Trap star, I don't hang with the backpackers. I'm in the hood with the work you heard. Making fiends leave earth you heard. Got your baby mama thirst you heard. Feel the flow, nigga, throw it in reverse. This the wave you need to surf you heard.